Good morning, Dragan. Could you give a introduction about yourself?
Yeah, my name is Dragan. I'm 28 years old, currently working at a big trucking company within the United States. Have a wife, two kids, and I'm a student in the real world. I don't know really much what to say other than that.
Okay, so as a trucker, what brought you to the real world?
Okay, so I work in the trucking. I'm not an actual trucker. I work in the trucking business, so I'm a fleet manager. So I dispatched for 7 years, which is basically sales. You would have to find the best loads for the driver at that given moment, and then after sales, after moving from because I did that abroad from Serbia, and when I moved back here, I couldn't really work in that time frames that I did over there. And I asked them if I can get a new position and all this stuff, and they told me that it's just we don't have any time for that now. So basically, I was just stuck in that whole sales dispatch for a couple of years, and it's a good business. You learn to talk to the drivers. You learn to have a communication with them. You learn that they rely on you because the better the loads you get them, the better their salary is. So they're basically dependent on you, and you learn a lot. You learn a lot of good qualities, I would say, in life.
Mhm.
Dispatch or sales, doing the sales dispatch. Like I said, so I was working and I was trying just to see, is there, I'll be honest, I wanted to see, is this real? Is this a joke? Or is this just like, something that's, hey, here, take my money so I joined to actually, it was more curiosity to see what can somebody do to change my life, or what kind of information can I get to change my life. And then when I entered the real world, and then when I saw it was basically, um, it's not, yes, you have the money making creation campuses, which is amazing, but you also have the accountability campuses. You have the, like, people will hold you accountable. Like the peers and the friends that you make within the real world, they will hold you accountable to make sure you're doing your workouts, to make sure your finance and your fitness and all that stuff is in order. So that's really, when I saw that, it was like, okay, I'm done. I'm here to stay. That was pretty much the alpha omega for me.
Interesting. Okay, so joined purely out of curiosity. What kind of an impact did Tate have on you? Is it because of him that you joined, or a different reason?
So the thing with Tate is, I was 150 kilos. I was overweight. I had three addictions. I was pretty much just a depressed, like self-hating person. And I started the journey around 4 years ago, where I started taking out little things out of my life, little by little, and getting better and better. And the one thing that was, I would say, missing mentally was I didn't have anybody who was giving me the affirming, how would you say it, affirmations that my thinkings and my workings and everything that I was doing was right. Because every single time I tried to branch out and show people that I'm changing, it was just like, no, relax. And then I believe last year I ran into his content, and it was more of a revelation of the fact that there's somebody who thinks like the way I was thinking, and it made me, I would say, it gave me confirmation that what I was doing is right, and I just got to keep battling. So it was more just the connection he gives over the screen is like that wolf pack that he always talks about, finding people. Just hearing the content gives you the vibes that you're already in some kind of similar wolf pack, whether it's digitally or whether it's online and it's not in real life. So I would say that was really what hooked me on to the whole, okay, this guy knows what he's talking about. I'm gonna see what he's doing. And then when he connected his name, obviously, to the real world, then it was like, okay, now that's when the curiosity comes. Let me see what this guy is doing,
Hmm.
and that's the story, I guess.
Right. Yeah,
That
I
was
like that. And what campuses did you go into when you joined the real world? You said fitness. What else?
personal finance, which I think a lot of that would benefit a lot of young people as well. Teaches you how to use your money, how to save, how to act like a man with your money, which is really, it's really important nowadays. I was in the I started in the day trading campus, because that was the first thing. Once I passed the fitness and the personal finance, ran through them, I wanted to see which ones can I start making money in. And the day trading campus just blew my mind, because it was literally, you had two professors who are on top of their game, who will give you a detailed explanation of what is going on in the market, they're not gonna predict the market because nobody can predict the market. But they'll give you the tools, and they'll the thing about Michael, Professor Michael. I don't know if I'm allowed to say his name or
Yeah, yeah,
not.
yeah, you can.
The thing about Professor Michael is he focuses a lot. The biggest portion of the day trading thing would be where he tells people to focus on their mindset. You're not going to be a good trader if you don't do your minds if you don't work on your mindset. You're not going to be capable to go through the losses if you don't work on your mindset. So even within the whole trading and the statistics and analytics and everything that we go through in there, he makes sure that everybody is first physically in shape and mentally in shape. And that's the common theme in every single campus. Even when I entered the marketing campus, so I was curious to see how to create content and how to market it and how to turn that into sales, because I'm not the oldest guy. I'm 20. I'm not like one of these 17, 18 year olds, and I'm not one of the 40s. I'm like somewhere there in the middle, and I'm still not used to the whole you can sell digital products or digital marketing online, and that was like a big industry. So then I entered that campus, and same thing. It's like, hey, you can make your content, you can make money, but you better do the 50 push-ups per day because that's what everybody's doing here. And I just fell in love with the whole tradition and the whole culture of the actual real world. And it's like, what, there's like 100, 200, I don't know how many people are actually in there, like hundreds of thousands of
Yeah.
people. And everybody has the same, I would say, that culture mindset. Hey, listen, do whatever you got to do. Okay, post your wins, but do your push-ups at the end of the day. And that's just something that I say I fell in love with, honestly.
Hmm. I love that. Thank you.
Yeah.
Okay, so how different is the material that you've seen within the real world compared to what's held on the internet?
What do you mean material?
The learning resources, what the professors teach, how different is it to what you can find on the internet?
So yeah, so that's the thing. It's usually when people sell you these online courses or these online educational programs, they'll sell it in a way where they'll just give you the info and the most basic information. They won't give you the tools to actually find the way. They'll just say, "Here's the topic," which is basically what Google can do. And like I said, there is no how do I explain that? There's no theme to not theme, but it's like there's no stigma to any of the other things online that you realize that everybody's thinking the same way in there. I mean, when you look at health wise, I'm not saying business wise. Obviously, everybody has their own business ideas. But the thing in the real world that's completely different, and I've tried online courses as well, and I've tried all this stuff, and it's honestly, it's all just, I would say, surfacing what actually could be done to change your life. The real world is where it's like, all right, listen, we're going to scrape off the surface, we're going to get to the middle, and then we're going to see what's at the bottom. Like they make sure they cover all aspects. And I think that's what makes them, honestly, they're completely off the charts when it comes to. And the other thing is, the every professor says, if you listen to me, what I need you to do, you're going to make money. And even the few that complain, like the professor will go back and he'll go back to each step and he'll say, okay, what did you do here? Okay, you didn't do what I told you. Okay, you got greedy over here on this trade. This is why he'll give you exactly the blueprint of why you were making a mistake. And when you enter the campus, most of the professors say, just listen in the beginning, implement the hard work, and by the time you're finished, you're going to be making money.
Hmm.
And if you can't listen to those rules, then I guess you shouldn't be there at all. I don't know. I don't know how else to say it. But yeah, that was crazy. The when you see because in the day trading campus, it's not like the other ones. In the day trading campus, you could take a loss or a win. So the people that did make mistakes, it's like when he puts you on the spot and he makes sure he goes through everything that you did, you realize that you should have never made those stupid mistakes as a beginner. So I like that too. I like the accountability is actually probably one of the biggest things that I like about the real world, where even like you can just pop up today, you can sign up today and just start randomly chatting somewhere where you're not supposed to or whatever. No one's just gonna ignore your message. Somebody's gonna come to you and say, "Hey, listen, you're in the wrong campus. Here it is." They're gonna print screen where to go, or they're gonna send a link. Go through here. This is the way. Like people are gonna help you out. They're gonna hold you accountable to not just run around and do stupid stuff around the campus. So that, like I said, the culture is probably the biggest part of the real world. And I think that's the reason why it's growing so much because everybody's Everybody's in love with that culture. Everybody wants to be held accountable. Everybody wants that group, whether it's digital, whether it's in real life. People have that feeling that somebody's there watching you, right? So it's like it's nice. I like it. I like it,
Right.
especially the fitness thing. Like the tips, you can ask Alex, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so you can tag him and ask him personally what you think he should help you out with in your diet or in your lifestyle. I don't know if it changed now. Maybe it got a little too big, so he doesn't. But I remember in the beginning when he started it, it was just he would answer just every single message. Hey, this is what you got to do. Cut this out. Do this. And then he just gave like live tips, which is crazy. Like I think Tristan said it. He's like people pay him millions for his or thousands and thousands of dollars for his ideas, and he's over there like just at it, giving everybody tips how to improve their life and how to de-age, I guess, and just become healthier, which is another, that's also part of that culture where everybody's held accountable.
Right.
So that's pretty. Sorry if I ranted a little too much.
No,
there.
all good. It's interesting what you say about the community, because I've been thinking, where else can you really find a community like in the real world? It's hard to describe it to other people, but let's say you compare it to other maybe Discord communities or other groups, and usually they either one don't push each other so much, or two just they go inactive after some period of time. But here it's so active, and again, as you're saying, there's the accountability part, and then people. I've interviewed people's success stories who have met in the copywriting campus and then decided to move in together into a mansion in Thailand without having met each other before, and now they're lifelong brothers to each other. So yeah, it's crazy just how valuable and how impactful the community within the real world really is.
And it's basically it trickles down. The micromanagement trickles down all the way down to the students. So you know what I mean. So you'll get the main guys, you'll get the professors, then you'll get the captains, and then you'll get the students who are going to hold other students accountable. So the whole structure is if you don't want to be here, you can leave. If you want to make money, you're here to stay. That's something that people should really like take advantage of. And I always tell people, and this is probably been moving around the internet for a long time, but it's honestly true. It's like if you don't want to pay $50 1 month to see what's going on, then I don't even think you can't say nothing in the world's going to convince somebody if they're not going to try 1 month to actually see what's going on. Because that's what I did. I was just like, okay, you know what? There's no way that this guy's doing actually everything what I would do, and he's actually helping people out. I'll be honest, it was just in the beginning, I was just like, there's no way that everything is exactly how he says. And I paid, I'm like, all right, let me see what this is about. And like I said, it's not even like I do another job. I have a wife, 2 kids, and my life is pretty busy. But while I'm on the phone, I just entered, okay, let me ask a question real quick to Alex. He gets me an answer, or I go on the content creation campus. Hey guys, I'm thinking of making another self-improvement video. What do you guys think about this idea? You're getting answers. I'm not saying you're gonna get it instantly, but you'll get an answer. And it's just, I don't know. I don't know how to explain it. I feel like it's cheating to have it so accessible, all this information.
Right.
I honestly do. I feel like I need fitness advice. Text one of the best guys in the world for the fitness guys, and wait for him to answer you back, right? Or the market. Hey, I'm thinking about this. What do you think about this? And then he'll answer your questions or do a live. The live AMAs are killer. Honestly, I like those. I like when they just like everybody gets a notification that campus is live. That's a really good idea. I don't know who thought of that, but that was a really good idea.
Right. I love the energy you're speaking about all of this with and all the insights you're providing. So thank you. And which campus is it that you earned money through?
So initially, the campus that I entered, I think we started this one. We got off the topic. The day trading campus is the one where I started actually making the money with, but like I said, I still contribute more to the PF campus and to the fitness, to the actual whole reason of why I'm there. But the day trading is one of the places where I did make money, and it was like I said. So I entered, I did the courses, I did you have to pass like this little test to get into the day trading chat, and I did all that. And then when you enter the day trading chat, and day trading is a little different than the rest of the campuses. Day trading is a little bit where you get that you might get that little discord feeling here and there with the bickering, because everybody's 24/7 numbers and charts and up and down, and everybody's like high on energy over there. So sometimes you'll get like a little ignorant comment here and there, and I don't think people get so mad about it like over there as they would in other campuses. So it's a little hectic because day to day you're working with charts and numbers and all this stuff. But then you have a professor who's going to make sure that everybody's back in line at the end of the day, who wants to be. He can't make somebody do it, but he's going to make sure that the people who are there listening, that they're in line and they're straight as an arrow, right? And so I'll be honest, the reason why I stayed in the day trading campus was because Michael's energy through the phone or through the videos and through the on-calls and the courses that he was doing. It was just like, man, this guy has something that, you know what I mean? Like he has that little bigger connection with trying to make people make money. And that's what made me stay. I'll be honest with you. When I saw the effort that he was putting to make sure that other people make money, it was just like, okay, let me see what's going on. And I started doing the paper trading and the test trading for a while. And when I started implementing the information is when the money started coming in. So I would say, because like I said, I work another job, so I can't really actually initiate the trades on a daily basis. So I guess I would say I was more of a swing trader than I was a day trader. So yeah, so then when I started implementing the information is when I saw the money come in, and it was pretty much, I think within the first week, I made 2,000, and then the next 2 weeks when I started actually. When I realized after the first week was like the test to see if I can do it and implement the information that I had from the campus, and then the second and third weeks when I made also I would say 2,000 a week the first 3 weeks, and now I'm still learning on the side. I don't want to make a mistake, so I'm more cautious with my money, and I'm scared to not do something that I'm not 100% sure. So I'll always check in with the professor. I'll always check in on the trading analysis chat. I'll always check in on the daily levels. I'll always check in on the live AMAs, and I'm gonna do all these stuff. And like I think Joe Rogan said on his podcast, he's like, you have to work your job but plan your escape. And I'm literally like in that moment. I mean, I'm not saying I have a bad job. It's a nice paying job, but obviously I feel like I deserve more. And the real world is one of those tools that is gonna help me and at least get the mindset that there's other ways to make money, which is for me important, right? Because like I said, I'm one of those guys who like, hey, if you improve in your job, get the promotion and you'll be great. And then when I realized that there's 15-year-olds making more money than me and my promotion, I'm like, okay, hold up, something has to change here. So
Right.
that's pretty.
Interesting. So earlier you said that it feels like you're cheating because for only $50 you're getting access to all of this. So why do you think
Yeah.
they only charge $50?
I mean, obviously it's a numbers game. I mean, I don't know if we're gonna. For me, it's like if there's so many people there, then might as well make it accessible because you're already gonna make money off of it. And it's another thing I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about just because of people might wanting to take down the vid. I don't know if it's gonna go on YouTube or not, but you're actually the biggest competitor to the university game. And it's not even close who's winning, right? More people are dropping out of college, more people are signing up to the real world. So the turnover, you can say basically that, and I saw the chart the other day ago that most of the people that are signing in the real world are actually from the West, right? So the places, I mean, there's all over the world, but there's a big portion in the places that are supposed to be okay for education and for money is where everybody's signing up for the real world. And that was for me interesting because I thought it was going to be more of the underdeveloped countries, which there is, obviously, they're all over the world. But the big areas are the West. And I think that if you were to put toe to toe somebody, let's say I would have to go on the stand, on the court, on the stand, and put me on the stand to testify against like who's better, I would be like, man, it's not even comparable. You're giving $50, which is something you can make. If you beg on the street, you can make the $50 a month, right? So the entry price is basically free, and when you enter, you are taken through you're taken through like a constructed path on how to find the campus that you want. What and that's another thing. So it's more of like who are you, and then once you find out who you are, enter the campus that you think you do the best in, and then start making money, and then list. But that's a big thing where the accountability comes from in this modern era where, teachers aren't getting as much as respect as they usually do in universities and in schools, and you have all these videos of violence and all this stuff. Here, when the professor says, "Listen, you didn't do the job, so why are you complaining?" Everybody agrees with him because he makes sure that if I'm going to give you the tools to make money, then you have to listen to make the money. No one's going to put money in your pocket, So I just feel like young people who are entering that age of whether they want to go here or go there, I think it's obvious that you should try a month before you sign any kind of student loan deal for like 10 years or 15 years. I think you should first try. I'm not saying deny this and go here. I'm just saying if you're already on the verge of signing something, why don't you sign up for this and try it out as well? Because it honestly, this is not with no games, no nothing, no this. It's if anything, it's more for the future than it is for now, because the kids that are entering, and you see them, bunch of them. It's all kids. They're sending pictures. Hey, I lost 20 pounds. I lost 50 pounds. Hey, I made $3,000. I made 4,000. And you're looking at all these people in the chat, and you're like, it's not about the now. It's about the future, because all these men, these 17, 18-year-old men, they're gonna be the 30-year-olds and the 40-year-olds of the world tomorrow, right? And they're coming in with like, if I had the real world at 18, we wouldn't be doing this interview right now. That's, I don't know. It's more of the fact that the youth is going to benefit probably most from the campus. But then again, I've met 40, 30, my age, married men. You have family men that are in there, or women as well, that are trying to, like I said, and what the Joe Rogan said, he said, live your life and work as hard as possible. Don't slack in work because you're trying to plan an escape. Be the best you can, and then plan your escape. And there's a lot of people like me in there too. So it fits all categories, no matter what side of the chart you're on. But I feel like that it's going to impact mostly the youth that are, because everybody goes through it. When we're all 17, 18, 19, what do we want to do in life? What's the next step? I just finished high school. When you have these questions, this is probably one of the best answers you're going to get in modern day era. I honestly believe that. That's like the honest truth. And so a person like me who's went through addiction and overweight and all this stuff, I don't know if I spoke about this or in the when we were going through the rundown.
I think it was,
I can't remember. Was it
I don't
during
think
here?
you said on live, yeah.
Oh, I didn't. But yeah, so somebody like me who was searching for how to escape these, not more escape, but never go back to it. This is one of the accountability and the stuff that you get from the real world is it's gonna make sure you're not on your way back to where you were. So like I said, it hits a lot of things on the spectrum. It's not just go in. Where's the money? Where can I make money? It's a society. It's like its own society, its own community, and the culture is what's keeping it so authentic and certified, I guess.
Mm-hmm. And what you're saying about between university and the real world, I can say from personal experience, I dropped out of university to pursue what was inside the real world myself. So yeah, that's just something I done. So what you're saying is very accurate. I found the real world a lot more valuable than the university. So
Of course. I mean, not for everybody. If you want to be a doctor or a lawyer,
yeah,
you have to go. Yeah.
It's nuanced, but yeah.
But no, it's something people need to look into.
Mm-hmm.
It's something where the problem is everybody's used to this whole this guy's just out for the money, or this might be a scheme. People are used to these things. Even when I was growing up, people were used to that. The people online selling stuff weren't in your best interest. And then come along not even just a guy, a whole team, a whole empire of people selling truth. And people are just like, that's why I think people are a little edgy in the beginning to even enter the real world, because they're used to the modern stigma around these kind of things. And then when somebody comes along and he says, I have the best professors in the world, I have the best team in the world, I have the best students in the world, that's a lot. I feel like a lot of people don't talk about the actual students that are in there. The mindset that you get just being around these people is going to be like, okay, I got to step up my game. and it's when that starts just batting off one off each other. Like I said, we're not all in the same room, but you have a feeling that somebody's holding you accountable at some given moment. And I think that's needed in today's society, honestly.
Yeah. And what does your wife think about what you're doing? Has she seen a change in you? Is she?
So my wife was when I ran into Tate content, I started showing her the Tate content, and obviously, the things that everybody gets mad at, she got mad at in the beginning. And I was like trying, I'm like, no, listen to what he's saying. Like, don't listen to like, listen to what he's saying. And then she's like, oh my God, he's right. And she actually she's a huge, like fan, I would say fan of the whole movement. And when I tell my friends, I'm like, bro, what are you talking about? No, women don't hate. My wife loves him. You know what I mean? Like you know what I mean? Like she actually likes the fact that he's putting people in the account, like hold yourself accountable, change your life, and all that. Because she saw me go through it the past 4 years. So that maybe I should start talking about that to like prelude into that. Where I was overweight, I was 320 pounds. I had drug addictions. I didn't have much faith. I didn't go to church. I didn't go to any of these things, and I was just living like a contempt lifestyle of failing. And my wife was there the whole time. She saw me go from the top to the bottom, and now I'm trying to get back out of rock bottom, right? So she went through all phases with me, and she always told me like, "You're gonna change. I feel like you're gonna change. You have a good personality. You have a good heart, and I don't think this is you." And when I started going through the journey, then fast forward 3 years, now I run into this content. The thing about my wife and her thoughts about this whole thing is when she saw me go through all of it and still to this day hold myself accountable, at the end of the day, then my thoughts and my decisions are gonna matter more than when you're failing, right? When you're like a loser or whatever, then if somebody messes with you, you're gonna have to like just let it go, right? Because you're not even in a position to say what you think. Like if I was addicted to gambling or something, I can't tell my wife, "Hey, listen, I'm telling you how it's gonna be," because she's like, "Man, you've been losing money. I'm not listening to you." Right? So now when I fixed my life and I changed it around, she that's what got her into listening to the content that I was
Mhm.
trying to share with her. Because she's like, okay, if his mind is in the right place, then the things that he's listening to might be in the right place too. And from there on, it was just like, you know, are you going to enter? She was the one who was asking me about, are you going to enter the real world? I know we're not allowed to talk about what's inside, but she's asking me to this day, are you gonna enter the war room? Are you gonna meet these people? Like, what's going on? Like, let's go, keep it going. Like, she's probably like more than me now. So it's like we're back and forth, like who's more into the whole movement because because we firsthand witnessed the life without running before running into the content was the process of getting out. And then now when you're in the healthier mindset and all this stuff is coming through, when somebody asks me about it, I'm like, yeah, this is true because I've been there, I've seen it, I've seen both sides, and I'm telling you that this is the truth. And people can't really they can argue like emotionally, they can get mad. But when you give them the facts and you tell them that you've been through it and you fought through it, not a lot of people can actually even debate that or even stand toe to toe with your debates. So when I tell people the real world is worth it, how do you know? I'm in it. Like I'm paying it. Like I'm working 2 jobs. I have a wife. I have the 2 kids, and I still have time to benefit from the real world to make money. And you're telling me that you're scared to waste $50 a month? It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Honestly, it doesn't make sense. If anybody with a logical brain would realize that excuse doesn't make sense.
I love that story. Thank you. And
Yeah.
what was your biggest challenge from when you joined and then were trying to implement the lessons? Yeah, what was the biggest challenge you faced?
Okay, so the day trading is that what
Just
we're talking about?
anything you can
Anything?
think of for trying to implement the lessons.
Okay, so at work, like I said, this is going back to what we started in the beginning. At work, I was a sales dispatcher, and it's more of like a broker from the carrier side. So you're the one finding the loads and selling it to the driver and making sure he makes good money. And there was a position opening for fleet management, which is, compared to the money that you get paid here, it's more base pay. You get more money and you get a little bit more control over your situation. Like now I'm a fleet manager, 300 trucks. And the reason, and I never wanted to go for the position. I really didn't. I was just like, man, I stay in my lane and just wait it out, and I'll find something better, right? And then when Professor Arno, he has his videos as well, and Alex with his fitness tip, right? So I started implement. I wasn't really that big into fitness as much when I was going through that 4 year path of changing my mind. I was the diet, yes, but not fitness wise. And then when I started implementing these things and getting these ideas and getting these actual advice, how to treat life while you're still in the position that you can't change anything, how to treat your life to put yourself in a position to win. And then that's when I was like, okay, you know what? I'm going for the job. Called up my boss. I'm like, listen, I think I'm ready for it. Give me a chance. Give me a week. Give me 2 weeks. Even the pitches. That's crazy too. That I've just thought about this. The things that you learn in the marketing campus is the things that you can implement in everyday life. So the way I entered my job and how to get a promotion, how to become like a fleet manager of 300 trucks was the method they would teach you in the marketing camp of how to hook up, I don't know, a copywriting client, or how to hook on, you know what I mean? All these digital clients that you can, or online clients that you can find. I use the format to sell the image of that I can be the manager, which is crazy. That's like a fourth campus that I use. I mean, I know you're supposed to pick one and stay specific, but like I said, I'm in and out. I've something like today. I'm flying to Chicago after we finish this video. Yeah, I have a pretty dynamic lifestyle, I would say, and the fact that I can still find time to get information, implement information, and just run through everything here and there, and talk to professors still. Like, I can be on the road and I can text, or not text, or message one of the professors, and they'll answer you eventually. Like, they won't answer you right away, but you can be on the road and you can have an idea. Hey, maybe I should do this, or maybe I should trade this differently, or I should implement this system. You can literally be on your way to the airport and you can text the professor, and by the time you land, you'll get an answer on how to either change it or how to change your question to make it a better way to
Mhm.
answer. So I don't know. I just feel like it's, like I said, if once again, it feels like cheating to have all this access at your fingertips, and the only incentive is you have to work hard and you have to listen. Like, if you can't do those two things, then nobody's gonna help you. You know what I mean? Even
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
the funny thing is, the people that are gonna help you in those situations when you don't want to do the hard work, are they really helping you, or are they putting you in a situation where you're just gonna be worse when you come out? Like, these people are trying to change lives. They're trying to change the tradition of young men entering that phase of life. Like, in America, I don't know how it is. I don't know where you're based from, but in America, usually at 17, 18 is when the party raving sensation comes in, and that's probably one of the biggest tools how they sell university. I always thought that the biggest reason how they sell university in America is sororities and these frat houses, because everybody out of high school wants the friendship, everybody wants the wolf pack, and the best way they can sell it is through parties, right? And that's probably one of the biggest reasons why a lot of people even go to college, is just to be with friends. They don't even know what they're doing. Over here, you'll get a party of like financial information. That's what you're gonna get. You're not gonna get the, hey, let's go out, let's go do this, let's go drink, or anything. Like, you're gonna get, hey, I made money, I was at the gym, I got my mom out to stop working. That's another thing. I got my wife to stop working as well, which was I guess that's more of like a mindset thing that I learned from listening to the people, and to everybody, that they had their view of life really changed my life. I'll be honest with you, it really did. But back to the point of university, and that the people that are in those ages where they want to waste their life doing meaningless stuff. This is probably even more for parents than it is for kids. Like,
Mhm.
I have a kid. If my kid was growing up in today's day, I would tell him, listen, download this fucking app and stay on this app as much as you can. Like, as a parent, I would tell my kid, you better be on this app 8 hours a day. I don't want to see you playing video games. I don't want to see you doing any of this stuff. I want you on the app, and I want to make sure you like, basically, to turn it into something that you can do with life.
All right.
That's what I would do right now. If I had a 17, 18-year-old kid, I would make sure he's on the app every single day. At least an hour a day you have to run down through the information on the campus that you're in. You know.
That sounds like a parent who's like, to a kid who's playing games all day, go outside at least for an hour. You're like, no,
Yeah,
go in the real world at least an hour a
yeah, but
day.
no, for real though, because if you go in the real world, you're gonna go outside. That's the thing.
True.
If you give the people the tools of the real world, they're gonna figure out a whole bunch of other shit.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
it's like I'm not gonna tell my son do 50 push-ups, but if he's gonna chill on the chat for an hour a day, he's gonna keep on seeing people post pictures of push-ups and weights and training, and he's gonna be like, oh shit, I gotta go to the accountability. The yeah, it's probably the biggest tool and the biggest aspect of the campus. So even if you mess up and you did something wrong, you're gonna have the feeling that you don't want to be the one that's gonna quit, right?
Mhm.
You don't want to be one of the students that are gonna quit, and that traditionally, I feel like what's keeping people and is the reason why you have what is the lady millionaire that was on a couple days ago, and all these success stories, 13-year-old kids making money, 15-year-old kids making money. It's like, man, it's larger than life, I would say, in a sense. It's a little, when you add all the aspects, the mentality, the accountability, then on top of everything, people are actually making money. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right. Yep.
So like I try to focus more on the things that people don't talk about as much. But when we put it all together, people are still making money on top of it. And if you're not making money, somebody's gonna either make sure that your mistakes are corrected. If you ask the question too, that's another thing. Like if you need help, ask for it, and you'll get help, right? Which is something where in today's society, a lot of people I feel that they're not so open about what could help them or what's on their mind that could help them out because of what society turned into this whole high intense what would you say, it's hostile environment, and a lot of people don't even seek the help because they're just like, what's going on over here? It's like, man, people will encourage you. Like if you messed up in the trading chat, I remember there was this one situation where this guy he's just flaming like information, like stuff that doesn't make sense, just that what he thought made sense. And then instead of attacking him, the people are like, hey, listen, how about you DM the professor, and how about you ask him about what you're saying here? And I promise you'll get a different answer. Like, no one's going to say, hey, get the fuck out of here. What's wrong with you? I mean, maybe they will sometimes here and there. But mostly you're going to have somebody who's going to say, listen, if you don't want to do the work, why are you here? And then you're in that position where it's like, oh, okay, I
Yeah.
got to do the work. So, yeah.
Okay. Thank you again for that answer. I like that you go in depth into them. You might think, oh, maybe I'm rambling, but no, I actually really like it. You're providing a lot of value for people. I'm sure they're gaining a lot of good insights. So, yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah.
And since you're on this trajectory, where do you see your life heading in the short term, medium term, and long term?
I mean, I'll be honest, I see where I'm going, clear vision, which also I credit a lot to the fitness and the health changes that I made in my life. I see the vision, the actual goal of where I want to. I don't want to talk too much because I don't know who's gonna see the video. I don't want plans to be taken out before they start. But yeah, so the trucking business is something where if you're working hard and you never stop, right, gas on the pedal, you can keep going, and you can, as long as you don't stop and you don't get stuck in the whole hinges of okay, I'm okay with this situation. You can keep moving forward in life because the way the business is structured is you can always branch out and get your own equipment, or you can do something. So I'm not going to get too much into detail about that,
Mhm.
but yeah, that's in that part. I would say that my life is heading in a pretty good direction, actually in a really good direction. Family wise and fitness wise is just, I'm not in the greatest shape, but I'm in the process, right? I was 320 pounds. I'm getting out of it. And family, I won my family back too, which is something that I would also credit to the whole mindset that's been going on online these past couple of years about changing your mindset and not giving up and not quitting, because I could have quit and my wife could have divorced me and left me, and I could have been an addict, and she would have been right. It's not one of these situations where, there's a lot of people online, we're all talking about, men not having it the best right now in the given moment. I was actually one of those like idiots, you know what I mean? Where it would actually be warranted to just be like, hey, fuck this guy because he's not doing anything in his life. So that whole mindset, as far as fitness and family wise, I honestly see myself getting better each and every day. And my main goal is to be better yesterday than I was today. And that's just the one thing I always repeat to myself every day. And I'm pretty sure that in that sense, I think it's going to be okay. If there's some problems, some tribulation, trials, we'll go through it. We'll get out of it. the finance part. So finance as a whole, trucking was one, but finance as a whole, I honestly see using the real world, using the information. Like I said, the crypto campuses, it's pretty self-explanatory. If you do the work and you follow exactly what's there, you might be the right guy at the right time. Now everybody can take that for what that means, but you can be in the position to win just being in the campus and listening. You don't have to do the day trade. You can paper trade for the rest of your life. You don't have to put a dime into the paper trading. You can just be there, take in the information, wait for the moment, get in, and you can make life-changing money that way as well. I mean, I don't know if everybody can do it. I don't know if there's that much money to go around. Like people, I don't know if people are entering with 10, 20, 30,000 in the bank or not. But if you're one of those guys, you can just use the information and just feed off of other people's information as well. But you still have to do the hard work. No one's going to tell you do this now. They're going to say, listen, you have a couple options. Go through your system, find a way to implement it. And then you're stuck in the position where you still have to do the work. But he gave you all the information and all the tools to make sure you do the work.
And what about for content creation? What did you get into there? What did you learn?
So after going through this process of changing my life and getting leaner and stronger and mentally wise, better and financially, I always tell people, I mean, you have to be mentally strong, physically strong, and financially strong, right? So then once I went through that, the ideas came, obviously it came from actually seeing people do it, content creation and influential speaking like Tristan and Jay Waller and Andrew Tate and all these guys, you see the effect they're having on people. And while I was in the marketing campus, I learned how to create content and I just started throwing it out on TikTok just to see the reactions. And then when you realize that most of the people who are affected by this and who are moved by this are people who feel like that society has left them behind, right? The younger males. And when you see stuff like that, and when I add that to my story of how I changed and transferred my life from being the loser, being the overweight, being the ad, being everything that Tate says you might be, he's right. Like guys, listen, he's right. You can actually fall into those things because I've been there. If you don't hold yourself accountable, you can be there. Like I feel like I got out of it, and then I was just wondering the whole time while I was in the real world, I was always thinking, man, if there's only way that I can try my way to explain to people how did I get out of it. A lot of people say don't go into it, but there's a lot of people who don't get out of it. That's one of the biggest things in life where a lot of people get sucked into that black hole and never come out. And I'm one of the very few, God bless, that actually got out of it. Whether it was through hard work, whether it was through a whole bunch of stuff that got me out. And my whole mindset was I need to get this information out, or I need to help people out, or I need to try my way, my version of saying, hey, it's okay to hit rock bottom, but what are you going to do once you hit rock bottom? Don't dig in and let's see if there's more rocks under rock bottom. Try to get out, And then the content creation campus came out, and I was, the whole point was to learn how to create content. And that hooked me right away because I was like, this can help me with this. And then they came out with the influential speaking corner. And then that was like, okay, that's it. Like this is where I'm going to focus most of my time now, because I want to get I call it the blueprint. The channel is called the Warriors Blueprint, but it's because I'm trying to explain to people. Obviously, the best case scenario is to never enter and to be accountable the whole way and be lucky enough and to never taste the worst parts of life. Right? That's number one. So I don't think that it's necessary to go through the actual bottoms of addiction and alcohol abuse and all this stuff to see what it is to get out. I don't think so. I think you can realize just looking at other people getting destroyed. But the fact that you've been through it, I feel like that's something that it should be said. I feel like it should be told to other people. Like there's a way out of it. You don't have to be stuck in that position. And yeah, that's just basically why I started doing that, and why the content, that's now I think we're at campus number 5. That's helping me change my life. like it would just keep going down the line. Funny thing is, my wife's doing the drop shipping campus, so
Nice.
she should have done the interview with me too. But yeah, it's fun. It's fun just being around the whole campus. It's giving me tools to maybe one day promote myself or one day get my information out. which is, usually people in these positions, you would think that they don't want other people to get their message out. Like, hey, listen, you're here for me, and that's it. Like, no, they're over here. They're like, you want to be an influential speaker? How about you learn how to be an influential speaker first? And they'll go through the whole tape of how to do it. Before you even try anything, they're gonna make sure like, hey, listen, before you put out your video, do you know how to talk? Do you know how to express your feeling? Do you know how to channel your energy? They're gonna make sure they hit all aspects before you even try, so nobody comes out with like a stupid video and is like, oh shit, I didn't know what I was doing. They made sure they covered everything. But yeah, that's pretty much it about the content creation and that campus. It's helping me right now actively the most because it's the one where I'm focusing most of my energy on.
Right.
And that's pretty
I wonder
much.
if you can combine your skills with what your wife is doing with e-commerce. Maybe you can both do something together. Is that something you're planning?
Yeah, they teach how to use ad so content creation. The marketing campus teaches you how to create content. Content creation teaches you how to be the person selling the product, and then you have Amazon drop shipping where you can actually pick the product, buy it, and resell it or drop ship it, whatever. So yeah, it all connects obviously. But she just started now. She's getting through the lessons, and we'll see how that goes.
Okay, awesome. So
Yeah.
to end off, from your experience within the real world, for people who are unsure about joining because maybe they think it could be a scam for the $50, what advice
Yeah.
would you have to them?
I mean, the advice is first, testimonies are everything, right? So if you have a 15-year-old kid on camera saying he made money, you have a 24-year-old kid saying he made money, you have a 32-year-old man saying he had money, you have a 40-year-old man saying he had money, you have I don't know what else is on the spectrum, a 35-year-old saying, if all these people are saying they're making money, and they really are, and everybody's making money, you just have to do the hard work. Why not try it for 1 month? Unless you're scared. I feel like people are scared that the people that are trying to change in life but are really not set to change. There's people who want to change and they get through it and they change and they become a better person. And then you have those group of people who are just like, I don't want to change. I'm happy with, like, if you're happy being a loser, then stay out of the real world. That's what I told people. I even did that. That was my introductory speech to the content creation campus. Like, how do I sell the real world? I don't have to sell the real world, man. Just like, you have the testimonies. The fact that people think that they have to sell the real world is, for me, ridiculous. If you don't want to make money and you want to stay like in that mentality, stay over there. Nobody cares. Like, it's that kind of mindset. We want everybody who's in the campus want people who think the same and who want to make money. If you don't want to make money, if you don't want the cheat sheet to information in life, then stay over there, man. Go ahead, watch your movies. Nobody here is gonna lose a day of sleep or money if you don't enter. That's the one thing. That's what I always tell people. Like, how can you sell the real world? I'm not. You don't have to sell the real world. It sells itself. You have the testimonies. You have, like I said, the only thing that gets people is they have to enter to actually see it, and that's where the $50 comes in, and why should they pay it or not, and all this stuff. And I tell people, if you're really, 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 really broke, and it takes you 3 months to gather $50, I promise you it's gonna be worth it wasting that last $50 on the real world just to see where you're at in life. Just to see, it's gonna put you, if anything, if you sign off the month later, it's gonna put you in perspective exactly where you are in life. Because once you see people making money, once you see people being held accountable, once you see people losing weight, once you see professors holding everybody accountable, you're gonna be like, okay, you know what? I got a whole lot more to work to do than because some people run into that phase where they think that they did it and they think that there's no room else for improvement. The real world will throw that in your face right away. They'll make sure that you know that it's not over. You're not even close to the end goal. There's a whole other race to be. Once you finish that race, line your shoes up. There's another race to go. That's just it basically just, it's the honest truth of the world. Once you enter, that's crazy. It's called the real world, but once you enter, you realize that everything outside is just like, you think that's good? Like, no, man. Let me call this 13-year-old Indonesian kid and tell you that he'll tell you it's not real. I don't have to tell you nothing.
But what if
So
all these testimonies you're talking about, what if they're all paid actors? What if you're a paid actor?
if I'm, I mean, I don't know how to explain that. Honestly, I don't know how to explain that. I'm saying, like I said, I'm talking off personal experience.
Yeah.
So even I'm saying, how can you get other people? Would be the testimonies. Obviously, if they don't believe in the testimonies, like I said, the only way that I can, like you asked me how why people aren't or why people wouldn't or think it was a scam. I honestly, and I think Tate said it once too. He's like, man, if you don't want to listen from a millionaire, then fuck off. I don't care. You know, like I'm giving you guys the information. You guys don't want it. I get that people are a little on edge over online sales, especially with all the crypto scams that are going out. I understand that somebody's scared to even try, but then it's like if you don't have $50 to try, then you're already in a bad place in life. It can't get much worse than that, right? If you're scared to give $50 a month to even try and look at what's there, if it's okay, you got scammed, whatever. Like if you don't have $50 to try to see if there's a whole other world out there for you to make money, you're already really in a really bad position. Like that's another way I would like. My brother asked me, he's like, "Why are you entering the real world? Like, do you really think you can make money?" I'm like, man, if I don't have $50 to ask myself, can I make more money with this? Then I'm already in a bad situation, right? So I think that's already a wake up call. If you're scared to give $50 to try something out, you're already in a bad position. Like you basically sold yourself with your answer. You know, that's the way I look at it.
Okay, so for people who want to find out more about you or contact you, where can they do so?
Yeah, so I started the YouTube, the TikTok, and the Instagram. The mindset channel. It's called the Warriors Blueprint, at the Warriors Blueprint. On Twitter, it's at the W Blueprint. I couldn't fit the whole name, so. But yeah, you can follow me there. You can follow the information. I just started 2-3 weeks ago posting content. It's daily content, so if you need something that's gonna be like you want a message coming to you every single day, or I don't know, if you just enjoyed the energy coming through the screen or whatever, follow, support, I guess, share, like, I don't know, do whatever you want. I'm just testing. I'm just trying. That's another thing, though. This whole movement that's going on, not just the real world, just this whole movement that's created around the stigma of, what Tate's giving off and the energy he's giving off. People, like, I realized that once you accept the fact that you're not scared of life anymore, and you're ready to risk, that's when the opportunities come. That goes back to the subscription. If you're scared to try, then you have to accept everything that comes with not trying. And I don't know. I'm just enjoying every single moment of it, and we'll see where it goes. I have a feeling that it's going to be good in the future. The channels. I'm more focused on work right now. More focused on family right now as well. I mean, focused on making sure that everybody's in a position where they're supposed. Like my wife stopped working 3 months ago, and I credit that a lot to the content and to the everything that's going on with the Tate movement and the real world and all that stuff, because they put that in my mind that, hey, listen, if you're not going to be the man of the house, then what's wrong with you? so like that really got me to like, I got to make more money. I got to make sure she's around the kids more, and I have to make sure that she's situated. So we'll see. I think I'm on the right path.
Okay, so yeah, it was a very interesting story. Thank you for sharing. And I'll add those links to the description of the video. So anyone interested, check it out. And I look forward to doing a follow-up with you in about 3 months or so to check in on your progress. And until then, I wish you all the best.